Those of you familiar with the channel know that I occasionally go to PetSmart or Petco in this case for aquarium plants. Do I go on this shelf? No. Intermediate? This shelf? Focus. Easy. Yes, I go to this shelf. But you really have to be careful what you see and if you get it or not. Like that, no. But what is this? Here's what I got, and a couple of them just to show you why I wouldn't buy these. Well, welcome to the Smallscape. I went to Petco, and I swear I went just for dog food, and I said I'm not gonna go buy the plants because we're getting ready to go to Aquashella. I don't need to bring in any new plants, figure out where I'm gonna put them. I just don't need it. But I figured, well, I'm just gonna walk by. And I found a few. I found 3 that I thought, well, there's different issues with each of these, and I thought I should share. So the first one is, this was actually a plant that I have sworn off buying from Petco. I know. Why? It is one of my favorite plants. It is the micro-stored Liliopsis brasiliensis, and this is actually a somewhat unusual example. I used a container back when I did that little tiny tank over there. I had a container, and I didn't mention in that video, but the amount of micro-stored that I put into that tank was all that I got from this size container. That's all that I was able to salvage, because the others was just puny. It didn't look good, and I basically tossed it. Now, micro-stored in just usual is difficult to plant. I do have a planting hack. I'll put that up there, down there. I think it works really great, but this was so puny, it couldn't even be helped. So I said, you know what, I'm not gonna get it from Petco anymore. I'm gonna get it from Flip Aquatics. They are a channel sponsor, but I remember when I was looking through all their goodies and their shrimp and picking out some stuff that I need, I'm like, why don't I get it from there? Because you get like 3 times as much. Probably 4 times or 5 times. It's just absolutely insane. And what I'm going to do very soon, I'm going to order and I'm going to show you what you get from Petco, specifically with the micro-stored, which is a great plant, especially if you don't have high light and you don't have like dwarf hairgrass. I'd love dwarf hairgrass, I really would, but it doesn't like me, so I don't like it. And I use micro-stored instead. It's a great little plant. But anyways, I'm going off on some, where was I? All right, I'm back. I remember what I wanted to say. Point number 1. You may want to be really careful when you buy these, especially the tissue culture plants, because some of them you get a very, very small amount. And we're talking $10.99 for this cup. My Petco sells these $10.99, unless there's some sort of special like the January Christmas aquariums, that sort of thing. $10.99 for this amount. And it could be a slow grower. It could be a very small plant, really tiny. You're gonna be waiting a long time to fill up any kind of an aquarium, even a tiny nano aquarium. So just be really careful. This one is, you can see the roots are actually pretty good. You get a decent amount in there, but when you pull this out, it really doesn't comprise a whole lot. I'm just saying. And this is twice as much as what's usually in a cup. But you have to stay tuned to the next one where I show you a real amount, what you get. Point number 2 is you have to be very careful, and those of you who have gotten specifically tissue culture plants, you have to be careful that the plants that you get in there are not already deceased, goners, dead. All yucky and slimy. The bottom will be, you can see in this one, it has a lot of the magic gel in there, whereas this one does not have a whole lot at all. So this one will be really easy to clean. You rinse it out under the sink a little bit. This one, it's gonna take you a little bit more time to get all that goopy gel off. You don't want that in your aquarium. But you might look at this one. This is kind of a couple of notes. If you're new to aquarium plants, you may look at this one specifically and be like, ugh, they're all pale and dead. I don't want that. Oh, yes you do. See that in there? This is Anubias variegated. It goes by a lot of different names. Like they're all slightly different. I'm sure Snow White, White, but Anubias, I've had this before. You do need to have a little higher light for it to keep that white color. Anytime you're talking a variegated or a white plant where it's normally green, but you're trying to pull out that white, it will require a little bit more light to get it to stay that way. But It's fun just for the time being. I think I got a few months, 6 months maybe, out of the last batch I got, but I just literally couldn't resist getting this one. So be very careful to look at the plants before you get them and make sure, are they dead? Look at the bottom. Always look really carefully at the bottom. Is there anything like really, these look really nice. How big are the roots? Is there anything brown and mushy and, or these look really good. So be careful. What do they look like? And then also, don't think that the Anubia is variegated. And they even label them much better now. Make sure they're not dead. They're just fine. Oh, and side note, I don't know if your Petco is doing this, but this is the back of the container. You see all those options? It used to be punched, like a little hole punch next to the little box, but sometimes it was between two items, so you didn't know if you were getting an Anubias nana or an Anubias barteri. You just didn't know because well, did they mean to put that one or that one? And when they're small, you may not know. You just can't tell. Now my third point is this one. I was like, dang, I have to get this, even though I know this third point comes with a number of points. So is that like 3A, 3B, 3C? Know what you're buying before you buy it. So you may see this one is Anubias gigantea, okay? Who doesn't love Anubias? I love Anubias. I love all kinds. However, I know, and the name may give it away, it's gigantea. Yep, that's right, it gets big. And we're talking very big. 2 feet, 3 feet, huge. So if you have this plant in a little tiny aquarium, it will work for some time. Like I would have no problem putting them in this one, even that one for a while, because Anubias is a slow grower, but it won't be in there for long. So don't base your entire scape around it. I wouldn't make it really difficult to pull out. Put a lot of glue and just, really settle it in for its life, because it probably won't be in that tank for a long time. It's great for, this specific one is great for a paludarium or a riparium too, because if you look up Anubias gigantea, most of the images that it's going to show you are when it's out of water. So the roots are underwater, and then the big huge leaves are outside, kind of like looking like a big jungle. I'm just saying. But this one I had to get to show it to you. This one's actually pretty good. I mean, look at all the plants in there. Holy moly. Usually you get like this one here. This is typical to get 4 to 5 beautiful little plants in there. Aren't they adorable? They're so stinking tiny. They're so cute. This one, I don't even know. I don't even know how many separate plants there are. So cute. For now, they're cute, but they will get very, very large. So there's your public service announcement for today. If you are going to the Petco, the PetSmarts of the world, know these things, because there's not a lot of people that work there either that can help you out. You can Google. If you're buying from somebody reputable who's selling plants like online, like a Flip Aquatics, they're going to give you a really detailed instructions or description on the specific plant you're getting, like the parameters maybe that it likes or the height that it's going to reach. But when you're buying from the Petco, PetSmarts, you don't necessarily know what you're getting, and there's only so much you can tell when you can kind of take a peek into that cup. Sometimes you get to be surprised what you get when you open up the cup. There you go. If you have any suggestions for anybody, leave them down in the comments below. But hopefully this video will help you if you happen to go walking around and you see these cute little plants. Thanks so much, and I'll see you in the next one.